preventing pain, fear, and suffering of animals through nationwide education and awareness from all across the globe. This is Animal Radio.
Well, hello, Animal Thrill Seeker.
They came back.
You're back for more. Good choice. Today, comedian Kip Addotta is back for more. This is his second time, taking a break from the Las Vegas circuit to talk with us about his cat, Harley, who's, I guess, the only woman in his life. But nonetheless, a wonderful cat. He shares his bond with us. Also today, did I mention it was a Cougar Tag weekend? I didn't say that yet, did I?
Cougar Tag?
Yeah, you know what a Cougar Tag is. It is the world's smallest USB tag for your pet. It fits on any collar and in any computer. It's great for cats because it's really small. It holds about 2,000 documents and over 150 pictures or video. And anytime today you hear the Cougar call, which sounds like this.
Cougar time!
Call 1-866-405-8405 and we'll hook you up with a Cougar Tag. One more time, the Cougar call. Anytime you hear it today, it sounds like this.
Cougar time!
1-866-405-8405. Also today, do our pets have souls? Sure.
I think mine do.
Do they know right from wrong? Do they have the ability to love? All these questions are, well, at least pondered with Reverend Gary Kowalski. And the foreclosure crisis, it's affecting our pets now. Details on the way. You've heard us talking about Maggie the elephant in the past. Maggie is an elephant who was in Anchorage, Alaska, and now is in California after the long struggle to get her from Alaska to California. It's ended. We have all the details. Today, we'll actually talk to a couple of experts. We're going to find out how you get an elephant, an African elephant from Anchorage to California, because that isn't easy. Let's go ahead and clear the phones. 1-866-405-8405. Hi, who's this?
Hi, my name's Annette. I'm listening to you on 920 radio in San Luis Obispo, California.
That would be KVEC, I believe. 920?
I believe that's, yes,
well,
920.
thank you. Anita, is your name?
My name's Annette.
Annette. Okay, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. My dog's name is Number 9.
Number 9. Why Number 9?
It's, well, after the Beatles song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, she's a 158-pound lab mastiff mix.
Uh-huh.
And the other day I fell over her, and I'm thinking she's not showing any signs of any problems or anything, but she's old, you know, she's got arthritis on one of her front legs. We give her meds for that. But I'm concerned about her internal organs because, I mean, I tripped and fell pretty hard on her.
Is there any reason that you should believe that something's wrong?
No, she's eating, she's drinking. I love her so much. I'm concerned.
How big is she?
158 pounds.
pretty big dog there.
Yeah, she's lab and mastiff.
Well, immediately I would think that if she is eating and she is pooping and she's not showing any outward signs that she's okay.
Bless your heart. And can I just say this? I am so glad you guys got Animal Radio. I love it.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, thank you very much. That warms the cockles of my heart there.
That's what we do it for people like you.
Thank you. No, thank you guys. And yeah, I was just a little concerned, and I just needed to hear a voice say, it's okay.
You know, I just keep an eye on her, and it sounds like everything's normal. And at that size, it's going to take a pretty good knot to take her down, it sounds
I weigh 200 pounds, okay?
Just keep an eye on her, and if you see anything unusual, if she stops eating or pooping, then schedule an immediate visit to the vet there, okay?
And absolutely. Thank you.
Is Number 9 the only animal you have?
Yes.
Can we go into the prize closet and dig out something for Number 9?
Let's do it.
We're going to do that.
Sure, yes, please.
Hold on one second, Annette. Thank you so much for calling Animal Radio. Don't go anywhere. We need to get some info from you.
Okay, no problem.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more about today's guest at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
After years of controversy, Maggie, a 25-year-old African elephant, flew out of Anchorage, Alaska Thursday night on a one-way ticket to the Performing Animal Welfare Society, a sanctuary facility located near Sacramento. Now, how do you get an elephant, how do you get an African elephant out of Anchorage, Alaska?
Especially in the winter.
We have Air Force spokeswoman Captain Kelly Jeter on the phone. Okay, so how do you get an elephant out of Anchorage, Alaska?
You asked the Air Force to fly her in a C-17.
Wow, and that's a pretty big plane, I take it. Now, how much does Maggie weigh?
Maggie weighs approximately 8,000 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, so obviously getting her right from the zoo to the airplane must have been tough. How did that happen?
Well, it was very interesting. They had a specially made crate specifically for shipping Maggie. Her crate alone weighed about 10,000 pounds. We had to get our our technicians out there to inspect the crate and certify that it was airworthy and that it could handle Maggie and whatever stress she might put on it and whatever stress the aircraft might put on it. And they worked the schedule so that Maggie would naturally get used to the crate. And they
training her is
crate training, exactly. So they put it in her pen several weeks ago and got her used to walking in and out of the crate. And actually, this is one of the really interesting things that they also recorded sounds of the C-17 aircraft engines and sounds of what the loader that would load her onto the aircraft sounded like.
Wow.
And for the last several weeks, they've been playing those sounds in her pen so that she gets used to that sound.
Everything went off pretty much without a hitch, I understand, last night, taking off about 7:30 p.m.
We flew her to Travis Air Force Base, which is outside Sacramento.
Okay.
And it was a 2-hour drive from there. It was like 55 miles from Travis Air Force Base.
And she arrived, probably had a little bit of jet lag, is what I'm thinking.
Probably. But yeah, she arrived this morning, and she's doing great.
How long was the flight itself?
The flight was only about 4.5 hours.
No in-flight movies.
Right. But it was, we coordinated with the FAA and made sure that they were aware of our delicate cargo so that in case anything went wrong, they were going to assist us, to put down at whatever airport could take us so that we could deal with with any emergency situation. So we definitely greased the skids all the way along.
So did anyone travel with her? Did a veterinarian travel with her?
Absolutely. She had a team of experts that were traveling with her, folks from the zoo, folks from the PAWS organization, a special elephant behaviorist was along that has been with Maggie for the last couple of weeks. Her trainer and veterinarians were all along.
How much does something like this cost, and who picks up the tab?
Well, interesting. In order to make sure that the taxpayer isn't shouldering the burden for this, the PAWS organization stepped up and offered to pay for it because technically the Air Force can't do this sort of thing, especially if there's a commercial alternative. Well, it turns out there was not a viable commercial alternative to taking Maggie down there, so we agreed to go ahead and do it with the PAWS organization reimbursing us once it's done, and they figure it's going to cost around $200,000.
This isn't the first animal. This is probably the second animal that you guys have moved. I guess there was like a killer whale?
Right. We moved Keiko the whale. I believe that was in 98. Flew him up to, I think he was outside Greenland.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. We appreciate you doing this, by the way. We think this is awesome.
Awesome.
Oh, we loved being a part of it. It was really fun. We definitely had a crowd at the terminal last night. A bunch of the base children were there to see Maggie off, and it was great because just as they were loading her onto the back of the aircraft, she was finally, disappearing into the aircraft. Uh-huh. She gave out 2 really loud trumpets, and the little kids got so excited. They said, "Bye, Maggie! Bye, Maggie!" It was great. It was like she was saying goodbye to everybody.
Well, now you live right there in the Anchorage area. Is that correct?
I do.
Okay, so you know this whole story. I guess there's the feeling of emptiness, but yet really happy that Maggie got out?
Oh, absolutely. She had some trouble this past summer. She got down twice and couldn't get up, and we had to help her up, and that kind of set off the alarm. Everybody realized that, we really do need to bring her to a warmer, more comfortable place, more suitable for an elephant. And so, it's mixed reviews. One of my guys that was on the load crew has lived in Anchorage for a long time, and his kids grew up watching Maggie, because she's been at the Anchorage Zoo for 25 years. So, she was a part of life. She was a household name around here. So everybody was sad to see her go, but glad to know that she was going to be healthy and happy where she's going.
Good work for the Air Force. Air Force spokeswoman Captain Kelly Jeter joining us. Thank you so much for all you've done.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more about today's guest at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
Cougar time!
And no stranger to Animal Radio, we welcome back our friend Arden Moore with her latest book. And I got to say, first of all, I'm a little bit of a closet cat lover. I love dogs and cats equally on air, but when I turn off the microphones, I'm really into cats. I like cats.
Well, real men love cats. Come on.
That is Arden Moore, the latest Planet Cat, a catalog It has everything. It's one of those things that you can sit down. What I do, and I'm not embarrassed to say this, I have it right next to the toilet because
That's right.
Just tidbits
of information.
Yes.
Non-interrupted reading.
There you go.
And it is one of those things that if you wanted to keep reading for, I'd be in the bathroom for hours. It has all these little tips as well as how to give your cat an IQ test, why cats paint. Now, we've discussed that before.
Oh, yeah. It's pretty amazing that we even have a picture of a cat who is doing its artwork. And I love the caption we wrote. Like so many tragic artists before him, he stands in the way of his own success because he destroyed the masterpiece shortly after completing it.
Well, what about giving your cat an IQ test? Can you really do that?
Oh, yeah. People always think that, there's only the only smart things out there are like border collies. But I got to tell you, cats are quite the intelligent beings, too. And we cover that right in the book. If anybody's listening, it's over 400 lists. It's right on page 359, because I know everybody's out right now rushing to get this book.
Of course.
And I do want to make sure everybody knows I wrote it with Harry and Sandy Corin. But there is an IQ test, and we really do score the cats. If your cat scores a certain amount, they're like an Einstein, and if not, they need to go back to kiddie school.
The people that you wrote the book with and you compiled information, because there's a lot of information there.
Oh, yeah.
There really is. It must have taken years to put together.
No, we did it in 6 months. We have very strong typing fingers, and like you, we love cats. I mean, this book, I call it the me wow factor, because we have everything from naming the 5 cats who appeared on The Simpsons to famous cat lovers like Pope Benedict XVI and James Dean. That's quite a pairing. And everything like, my favorite, though, is we have 17 gift ideas for the cat who has everything, including a custom wedding dress for cats.
A wedding dress?
Yeah, the veil is extra.
Oh, wow. I've seen the dogs get married, but I haven't seen any cats get married. You try to dress up any cats? Well, except Judy's.
Oh, my cat
It
wore...
depends on the cat, Some cats are, bring it on, I'm into fashion.
My cat wore his devil cape on Halloween.
Really? For Halloween?
For a couple hours, yes. He ran around the house in it. He just loved it.
As long as it's the cat's idea, they're good to go. They're all about dignity. They're like, it's my idea.
Okay.
I saw something in there that said that there are human traits that drive cats crazy. What
definitely.
are those?
Oh, one of the biggest ones is pumping up the volume, on our stereo. When you think about it, they can hear better than dogs. They hear 3 times better than dogs.
So it's really, really loud for them.
Yeah, so if you've got, a Bruce Springsteen song cranking, can you imagine what that does to the poor cat's ears? The other thing is that they really are creatures of habit. They don't really like it when you forget to feed them in the morning or you're tardy by an hour. They're not real big on you rocking and rolling in bed, kicking them around when they're trying to get a good night's sleep, because, they need to sleep about 20 hours a day anyway. So
At
you're
least.
kind of interrupting. But we wanted to have a little fun with it to poke a little fun at us, because after all, we're only human. But if we could look at it from the cat's perspective, there are some things that we just drive them crazy, from one roommate to the other.
I've learned some very interesting facts from inside the book, and I'm actually going to throw one of these facts out now to the listener, because I have 10 of these copies to give away. Planet Cat, a catalog. Here's the question. It comes from pretty near the center of the book. How many whiskers do cats have? Now, this is interesting. I never knew that they all had the same amount of whiskers. Is that true? They all have the same amount of whiskers?
Well, I have not personally counted the whiskers on all 90 million cats that are in American homes, but I would bet the mortgage on it.
Okay, if you know, 1-866-405-8405. I'm picturing...
Everybody's gathering up their cats.
1-866-405-8405. Tell me how many whiskers cats have, and I will get you, for the first 10 listeners that have the answer to this, Planet Cat, a catalog featuring why cats are better than dogs.
Yes.
How to say cat in 63 languages. Why cats paint. Give your cat an IQ test. Human habits that drive cats crazy. We can get this anywhere, right?
Yeah, you can get it on Amazon.com, and you can get it most major bookstores. I think that they're going to be. It just came out November 1st, so it's brand new. Great holiday gift idea for the cat lover and for yourself. It's great for putting in the bathroom or wherever is a good place for you to roost and read.
Arden, you've written a lot. How many books have you written?
Well, in the world of pets I have just finished my 18th pet book since 1999.
Well, this
I'm trying
collaboration...
to get it right, darn it.
Well, you've done it. This collaboration with Harry and Sandra.
Right.
Awesome. Best yet, Planet Cat, a catalog. Get it at your local bookstore. Let's go to the phones and find out if we have a winner. Arden, we'll talk to you later, okay?
All right. Thanks, guys. It was great to be on your show again.
Thank you.
1-866-405-8405. Hi, who is this?
Hi, this is Valerie.
Hi, Val. How are you doing?
I'm good, and you?
Very well. Where are you calling from?
From Southern California.
Listening on Coast, probably, among one of the stations there. So how many whiskers do you think a cat has? How many whiskers do you think a cat has, Valerie?
I'd say about 30 to 40 altogether.
30 to 40. Can you go ahead and give us an exact guess?
Let's just say 35.
35. That's a good guess. I'm still counting over here, but 35 is high. A little too high there. 1-866-405-8405. Thanks, Valerie. Hold on. We have consolation prizes for you.
Okay.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more about today's guest at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
The Animal Minute is brought to you by Urinoff, the #1 vet-recommended urine odor and stain remover. To purchase, visit www.urinoff.com. Urinoff, finally something that works.
Dogs or cats, horse or emu, animals are people too. They're fighting over a ferret at a San Antonio university. Sarah Sevick asked the Justice Department to find Our Lady of the Lake University in violation of the Americans with Disabilities Act because they won't let her keep Lily, her service ferret, on campus. The school doesn't allow ferrets, but Sarah says her ferret is much more than a furry friend. 19-year-old Sarah suffers from panic attacks, and before getting Lily the ferret, Sarah was unable to keep a job and had to drop out of college. Lily is a registered service ferret that helps Sarah focus on something other than panicking. The school is afraid the ferret might bite another student, and the Justice Department is now reviewing the case. I'm Britt Savage for Animal Radio. Animals are people too. Animal Radio.
There's lots of reasons to need a urine odor and stain remover. Your dog's afraid of thunderstorms. Cat hates being alone. You've moved into a new house, but there's only one reason to buy Urinoff, because it actually works. Urinoff's high-performance formula gets to the source of the problem and removes it permanently, even cat urine. Many odor removers claim to work, but thousands of loyal Urinoff customers, even vets, swear by it. If urine odor is a problem in your home, reach for Urinoff, the odor remover that actually works. Available exclusively at www.urinoff.com or your local vet.
Buddy, don't do that.
Don't worry, lots of dogs eat grass.
Didn't you hear? Dogs can get worm infections from eggs and larvae in the grass. Those parasites can even infect humans.
I know. That's why I give my dog Safeguard K9 Dewormer twice a year. It's a safe and easy way to eliminate and prevent the major intestinal worms that infect dogs, and to protect my family against infection.
Where can I find out more?
Just visit www.safeguard.com. That's SAFE-GUARD.com.
Honey, look, I taught Rocky a new trick.
He's 12. You know what they say about old dogs. Hey, Rock, what'd she teach you to do? Sleep?
Funny, no. I taught him to email me when it's time for his vet appointment and vaccinations, notify a call center if he's lost, and give the kennel his feeding and med schedule.
Did you give him a brain implant?
No. I bought him a Cougar tag for his collar.
Cougar tag?
This little USB Cougar tag. Oh. Yeah, plugs into any computer. His vital information's right there for the vet or kennel to read.
So our address and phone number aren't hanging off Rocky's neck. Wow, neat trick.
Yeah, honey. Neat.
Cougar Tag, the world's smallest USB pet tag for dogs, cats, even birds. 24/7 Lost Pet Center, vital health and vet information, appointment and vaccination, reminder emails, and more. All in a universal, non-invasive, waterproof tag. Let your pet teach you a new trick. Visit CougarTag.com today. That's Cougar Tag, KOOGA tag.com.
Cougar time!
PetSmart.com.
Hey, you know anyone who has owned a pet can tell you nothing is more frustrating than their pet soiling in the house. Often they do this in one spot over and over and over again. There's a reason why your pets do this. Pets are attracted to their own unique body scent, which is known as their pheromone, and that pheromone is always left behind in every soiling. Therefore, it's natural for your pet to follow his keen sense of smell and go back to it. So the question is, how do we get the pheromone out so our pets stop re-soiling in the house? Well, the good news is there's finally an answer. It's Get Serious Stain, Odor, and Pheromone Extractor. Get Serious is the only stain and odor remover with the ability to remove your pet's pheromone while also getting out the urine odor and any stain. Stop blaming your pets for re-soiling when you used a cleaner that didn't get the pheromone out. And don't spend another minute cleaning up unnecessary repeat accidents. Pick up Get Serious today at PetSmart or visit PetSmart.com.
Hey, you want to keep a secret from your dog? It's the new fish sticks from Canine Caviar. They're good for your dog's teeth, gums, and also his achy joints. And fish sticks from Canine Caviar are 100% natural, completely digestible, and contain no chemical preservatives, additives, or fillers, and they're low in calories. But don't tell your dog that. All they care about is that they taste good. Get your dog fish sticks at caninecaviar.com. That's www.caninecaviar.com.
This is an Animal Radio News Update made possible by the Simple Solution Natural line of 100% biodegradable pet care products.
The real estate foreclosure crisis is claiming family pets. I'm Hal Abrams. According to recent news reports, in areas of the nation where the foreclosure crisis is hitting hard, local animal shelters are seeing a sharp increase in the number of owners surrendering family pets. Many citing the loss of their home as their reason. An official at the Escondido Humane Society, located in California, a state hard hit by the recent mortgage industry turmoil, says that the organization receives between 20 and 30 calls per day from people who are losing their homes to foreclosure and have no place for their pets. Now, for some, losing the family pet may seem like the least of worries in a potential foreclosure situation. That is simply not the case for families with children who've grown up with the pets, or for many elderly people for whom these pets are near constant companions. And facing the loss of a pet is akin to the heartbreak of losing family members, as you might know. Now, for families with pets, fighting foreclosure is often the best bet when it comes to keeping their pets. If you're currently facing a foreclosure threat, don't give up right away. Take advantage of the programs that are designed to help and explore all the options. You may just find that there's a solution that'll keep your family and your pets together by avoiding foreclosure. If it does turn out that foreclosure is unavoidable, surrendering pets may still be avoided. With enough time, it's possible to find rentals that do allow pets, though there may be extra costs associated, either a higher security deposit or an extra monthly fee. If time runs short, you may want to try to talk to friends or family into accepting a payment to care for your animals, at least temporarily. You can learn lots more at animalradio.com.
This has been an Animal Radio News Update brought to you by the Simple Solution Natural line of 100% biodegradable pet care products. Get more at animalradio.com. Earth-conscious consumers have an eco-friendly choice in pet care. The Simple Solution Natural line of 100% all-natural pet products. 100% biodegradable training pads. Biodegradable even by California standards. They'll biodegrade faster than an orange peel. Also, Simple Solution Natural Pet Stain and Odor Remover. A great alternative to harsh chemicals found in traditional household cleaners. Simple Solution Natural, based on a way of life. Find Simple Solution at Petco, PetSmart, or your local pet retailer.
Preventing pain, fear, and suffering of animals through nationwide education and awareness from all across the globe. This is Animal Radio.
Coming up in just a couple of minutes, our friend Kip Adada, big animal lover, especially cat lover. Of course, you know him from numerous appearances, trillions of appearances on The Tonight Show, as well as in Vegas. Just one of the greatest comedians of all time. Okay, the phones have been ringing white hot. No correct answers on the whisker count yet. We learned earlier, well, I guess we haven't learned yet, how many whiskers a cat has. Now, I didn't think they all had the same amount of whiskers.
I didn't either, and I can't get my cats to sit still. I tried counting.
You've been trying, and this is hilarious. We need to put the webcam on Judy counting the cat's whiskers. 1-866-405-8405 up for grabs. You've put together a kitty package which includes a Kuga tag, this revolutionary ID tag that's small enough for your cat.
Yes, you can hook it on your cat's collar. It's tiny, like the size of a nail, your thumbnail.
Hi, who is this?
Hi, this is Debbie in California.
Hi, Debbie. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. What part of California are you calling from?
Bakersfield.
Probably listening on either coast.
It is coast.
Tell us, have you counted your cat's whiskers? Do you know how many whiskers a cat has?
Actually, I did. I sat down and counted every one.
How did you do that?
With tweezers.
Now, did your cat mind when you did this?
No. He's very good. He lays very still. He kind of looked at me kind of odd. But,
he was helpful.
He was helpful.
He knew what was up for. He knew what the bounty was.
Yeah, there you go.
How many do you think?
24.
That is correct.
That's it.
24. Very
all right.
good. It's funny. We've had guesses up and below and all around that. That is very good. Debbie, hold on one second. We're going to get you a Kuga tag and a special kitty package for your kitty. What is your kitty's name?
T-Biscuit.
T-Biscuit.
He doesn't like it, but...
Well, he's a lucky cat today.
Yeah, he is.
Hold on one second. Once again, the answer, 24 whiskers on your average kitty there. You know what? I'm going to have to do research and make sure that...
cats have extra toes. I wonder if there's some cats that have extra
There's got to be that oddball out there.
Well, I think mine has less now because of the tweezers. So.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more about today's guest at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
I think... Judy, are you talking to Kip? You're talking to Kip off the air here? What's the deal? Can we just talk to him on the air? I know
okay. Well, we were having a private conversation.
Hi, Kip.
Hey, Al.
Yes, how you doing?
Good. Good to hear your voice.
It's been, about a year or so since we've spoken?
Oh, I don't know.
How's Harley?
Seems like just yesterday.
It really... How's Harley?
Oh, fine. God bless her. She's my pal.
She's, as you've always said, the one woman you've had the longest relationship with.
That's right. She doesn't argue with me, and when I have concerns, she takes them seriously. It's wonderful.
You really can't mess up with her, can you?
Pardon me?
You can't mess up with her. You can't. There's nothing really that you can do, maybe short of not feeding her one night.
The only thing I can do, and it's not, feeding isn't a problem for me, because, but if I leave town, it takes about 4 days for her to forgive me when I get back.
Wow. What does she do when you come back?
She gives me the cold shoulder and the back end of her tail.
She won't sleep with you that night.
No, she's miffed.
Now, what do you do when you go out of town? Do you just pile a lot of food up high there, and just hoping she doesn't run out of food? How does that work? Or do you have someone?
I've got the automatic watering thing.
Oh, okay.
I've got the automatic food dispenser.
Really, who needs a human anymore?
Well, it's lucky for me to have those things, since I do live alone. There's only one human here, and that's me.
Now, does she think she's a human?
I don't think, she's never given me the impression that she's anything but my partner.
What kind of things go on behind closed doors? Like there's some serious amount of belly rubbing going on when me and my cat are behind closed doors.
Well, Harley is one thing about Harley. She loves women.
Mm-hmm.
If I have a lady friend over, she's all over. She bogarts the date.
She's working for you. She
loves. I don't know if it's a scent of woman. I don't know what it is, but she loves that. But when we're home alone, we talk, and we talk, and we have a relationship, and we watch TV together, and it's uncanny, really. She's a mixed breed. She's alley cat, or whatever you want to call her, and she's bright, and she's been a great friend. She is a friend.
Where does the name Harley come from?
Well, I found her under a motorcycle.
Just hanging out. Your motorcycle?
No, I was in a motorcycle shop, and she was a little kitten, and I said, "Oh, looky here." And the guy said, "Yeah, I don't know where she came from. You can have her if you want." I said, I do want her. So I had her all taken care of, and she's, the one thing that I did have some thoughts of yesterday is fleas.
Oh, yes.
Now, cats are going to get fleas. I want to let people know a couple of tricks I've learned.
Tricks for curing fleas?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, number one, fleas hate water.
Mm.
If you water your lawn, you're not going to have fleas.
You actually get rid of the fleas organically with water.
Well, they burrow down far. They do not like water.
Okay.
So they go down far into the ground and whatever. I don't know what they feed on, probably worms and things. But also, they can't stand soap and water.
That combination there of soap and water.
Yes. So what I've done, and I haven't had this problem in a long time, but what I've done is taken a pie tin, filled it with soapy water, and hung a light bulb directly over the center of it. And the fleas would jump towards the light bulb, bounce off and into the soapy water.
Do they like light? They like light.
They go to the light, like so many insects do, and they'll drop in the morning. In the morning, I would empty that pie tin, and in a few days, it's a pretty effective household cure.
Really, and it doesn't use any harmful chemicals. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to imagine the legendary comedian Kip Addotta sitting with his cat Harley.
Watching TV
with the light bulb right above and a pie tin right below.
What I do is I put that setup together and I turn it on when I go to bed at night. Now, I haven't had a flea problem in years, but when I did, this works great.
We want to give this a try. We want to test Kip Addotta's theory.
Oh, you show me someone with fleas in the house, and I'll show you someone with a dry lawn.
And that'll be written somewhere in some of the great quotes of all time with your name below that there. Now, if somebody looked into your house and saw your relationship with your cat and you talking with your cat, would they think you bizarre? Because, there's the stereotype of the comedian that has the cats. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the old maid with the cats.
Woman,
I'm sorry,
yes.
It's not a comedian.
But
Scratch that.
I'll tell you, I have no concern about it. It is what it is.
Well, I got to ask you this one question, Kip, because you are one of the few comedians that is still around and still alive. You see rock stars, they come back, they do their comeback tours. The Rolling Stones will be around forever. You don't see comedians do comebacks. You don't see Seinfeld doing a comeback. You don't see...
Interesting, you should bring up Seinfeld. He's coming out in a movie. He does the voice
of
one
bee?
of the characters in Bee Movie.
Yeah, Bee Movie.
But it doesn't count. Has your relationship with your animals made you so non-stressed and healthy?
Well, it certainly has. I gotta say, it's helped. I don't think I'm uncommon. I think it could be the animal becomes a personality within the house. We had a turtle named Dummy, a desert tortoise. And Dummy became, because I found Dummy in the middle of the road on the way to Vegas, and Dummy became a household member of the mix.
You would do anything for him.
Well, Dummy didn't require a whole lot of maintenance, but he was great to come out, and we'd feed him his vegetables, and he'd disappear and then come out when he wanted to, and he pretty much took us for granted.
Dummy wasn't so dumb, was he?
No.
And, of course, they enhance your sense of humor, too. I know they enhance my sense of humor.
Well, you hit it on the head when you said they're relaxing, they lower your stress level. They're finding, I don't have to tell you, they're finding more and more reasons to have animals in facilities where people are ill.
Therapy animals, lots of therapy animals.
Yeah.
Kip, we're out of time. But it is good to talk with you now. I understand that you have a lot of goings on at the website there.
Oh, please hook me up with your listeners on KipAdata.com and tell them go on there and give me the information so I'll send them a joke of the day 5 days a week. It's like the funny papers. I enjoy doing it, and it gets me traffic to the website.
Well, let me tell you what it does for me, because I come in so serious every day. I come in, a cup of coffee in hand, grumbly, and I get that email there, and I see that, and I realize, it's only a radio show.
Hopefully, that's high praise for me. I want that exact reaction.
You have some good provocative things going on every day. You can sign up for the newsletter. KipAdata.com. Now, let me spell this for you. It's KIPADDOTTA.com.
Yeah. And if they search, thank you, Hal, if they search Kip or they search Adata, even if they misspell Adata, they'll find me.
Well, they might also find those pictures you've been trying to get rid of for so long on MySpace.
No, not my YouTube. YouTube, I've been on. There were some videos of me. I ignore them. I don't, it's no concern of mine.
And, of course, links to everything you've heard on today's show at animalradio.com. Kip Adata joining us. Thank you so much. We'll speak to you again soon.
Thank you, Hal. Thank you, Judy.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more about today's guest at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
Hey, this is Cesar Milan. When I'm not doing the dog whisper, I'm listening to Animal Radio. Stay balanced.
Animal Radio is brought to you by the American Anti-Vivisection Society. Stop the FDA from allowing milk and meat from cloned animals to be sold in grocery stores. Contact the American Anti-Vivisection Society for information at www.endanimalcloning.org.
Honey, look, I taught Rocky a new trick.
He's 12. You know what they say about old dogs. Hey, Rock, what'd she teach you to do? Sleep?
Funny. No. I taught him to email me when it's time for his vet appointment and vaccinations, notify a call center if he's lost, and give the kennel his feeding and med schedule.
Did you give him a brain implant?
No. I bought him a Cougar tag for his collar.
Cougar tag?
This little USB Cougar tag. Oh. Yeah, plugs into any computer. His vital information's right there for the vet or kennel to read.
So our address and phone number aren't hanging off Rocky's neck. Wow, neat trick.
Yeah, honey. Neat.
Cougar Tag, the world's smallest USB pet tag for dogs, cats, even birds. 24/7 Lost Pet Center. Vital health and vet information. Appointment and vaccination reminder emails and more. All in a universal, non-invasive, waterproof tag. Let your pet teach you a new trick. Visit CougarTag.com today. That's Cougar Tag, KOOGA tag.com.
Cougar Tag!
.com.
Did you know that dogs can get worm infections just from eating grass, and that those same parasites can also infect humans?
Ew, gross.
Thank goodness there's a safe and easy way to eliminate and prevent the major worms that infect dogs. Safeguard Canine Dewormer. Just sprinkle it on your dog's food twice a year.
And that's it?
Yep. For more information, visit www.safe-guard.com. That's SAFE-GUARD.com. It's the best way I know to protect my dog and my family against intestinal worm infections.
Hi, this is Greg Rickhart from The Young and the Restless on Animal Radio, encouraging you to spay and neuter your pets. Thank you guys so much.
Cougar Time!
Preventing pain, fear, and suffering of animals through nationwide education and awareness from all across the globe. This is Animal Radio.
I get this question a lot. People come up to me and they say, Hal. Okay, they don't really. But hypothetically, it could happen. They say, Hal, you've been in radio all your life and you've loved animals all your life. What was your first pet? And like many, my first pet was a rock. A pet rock, the big fad of the, what was that, the 70s?
70s, I think, yes.
I'm really not that old.
Oh, yes, you are.
My pet rock was very influential in my life and gave me unconditional love, and at that time taught me to care for something, inanimate as it was still something. And the day that I lost my pet rock was a tough one for
traumatic,
me.
Very
traumatic. I really never got over it.
Uh-huh.
This morning, I come to the studio front doors when the doorbell rings, and there in a box with holes in it, and that's the first sign there. There's a box with holes in it.
Something's alive.
Something's breathing, and I'm thinking, oh, geez, someone has dropped off an animal here at the Animal Radio studios for us to take care of. Another one. Another one.
We have plenty.
And I look further and I see that this animal, while breathing, that did not produce any steam on the mirror that I put under its nose. But nonetheless was something that intrigued me. I had to get the person responsible for this on the phone. Tim Clarkson, the VP of Marketing for a company called Perfect Pets. Thank you very much. That's spelled with a Z at the end. Long
Lots
Z.
of
Did you see the elongated Z there? He is joining us. Hi, Tim. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you guys?
Very good. Tell us, this Perfect Pet, it looks like a cat. It's in a box on a well, it has a little bed and a brush, and it's breathing.
It's certainly breathing all the time, exactly.
Yeah, how long does it breathe for? I mean, it's...
As long as it's alive.
Well, as long as it's alive, exactly. No, it will actually breathe for about 7 months on the 2 batteries that are in there.
Okay, this is a toy that could be used for, I don't know, what, introducing children to animals?
Well, it's a lot more than children. Certainly, children are big recipients of the gifts of these. Most of them are used for gifts. However, we really see it's really all over the board for anybody that wants that, a pet adoption, pet experience, but can't have a pet.
Would you say it is the pet rock of the new generation, the new century?
Well, I'm barely old enough to remember the pet rock, but it could be that. But it really is probably even more than that, because, as you know, animals and pets certainly aren't trendy like the pet rock was.
But it is breathing. It's sort of freaky. Now, does it do anything with the brush? Or?
Well, yeah, the brush is really there just to, love on the pet. What we see typically is that somebody that, would love to have a pet but perhaps can't, whether it's a, child that you mentioned, could be an elderly person living in assisted living or just can't care for a pet, or even a college student living in a dorm room. And they just can't have real pets there, and so this is the next best offering to that. And it's just the brush is there just to love on them and just take care of them, just like you would any other real pet.
Judy, you're always confused with the trainers that all the different kind of trainers that are out there. You don't know if you should do the Cesar Millan or if you should do the Tyson Kilmer way of training. Vlade, it's a Margeller. With this particular pet, that won't be an issue, will it?
No, it certainly won't be. That's the nice thing about it, is that you get to, give this pet all the love and attention that you want, but you don't have all the vet bills, you don't have the cleanup, you don't have the mess, you don't have the food you have to buy. You just get to experience all the love and the emotion that you would have with a normal pet.
And it already comes to you trained.
Exactly.
Very good.
Yeah, it's very well behaved right when you receive it.
So it's great if you live in an apartment in the city. You don't have to walk it at 3 a.m. or groom it, but yet it is adorable. Now, where can we get something like this? It comes with a certificate of adoption, and you can register online. What happens when you register?
It just allows you to name your pet and register it, and then we'll keep you up to speed on any new breeds. For example, we've just launched 6 new breeds, so that gives us a total of 30 breeds, and there'll be many more coming next year as well. But to answer your question on where they're available, it's really 2 primary spots. We have, several thousand kind of mom-and-pop traditional gift stores that sell these, and of course they're available at our website, which is perfectpets.com with 3 Z's at the end.
And they're very lifelike. I have to admit, I set mine out, and it was breathing on the floor in the bed, and my cats all kind of gathered around it, and they were looking at it, and they really thought it was real.
Did they?
They did. You should have seen them. They were almost frightened of it. It was so cute to watch them.
Exactly. I just got an email just the other day from a guy. He and his family had gone on vacation, and his daughter had one of their pets with them. Perfect Pets with them, and they left it sitting on the bed in the hotel room and left and came back later that day, and apparently the house cleaning people had seen it and reported them for having a pet in their hotel, and they'd gotten a nasty message from the manager.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so they are very lifelike.
Oh, no doubt they are very, very lifelike. When I saw this on the doorstep, I said, oh, my God, there's another cat. I can't believe that. Okay, they're saying it costs anywhere from $2,800 to almost $50,000 to raise a pet, depending on the kind of pet and how long. How much does Perfect Pets cost?
We typically see them in the 30 to 40 range. So certainly a lot less. And much smaller on the vet bills as well.
The website is www.perfectpets, that's P-E-T-Z-D-Z, animalradio.com, and of course links to everything you've heard on today's show at animalradio.com. Now we have an orange tabby to give away.
Yes, we do.
And we have a golden retriever to give away. Is that the gold? What do you have there?
I have the pug. No, this is the pug. This one's for me.
So these, they actually have not been opened. They're still shrink wrapped and in the closet, not breathing yet, but breathing as soon as they arrive on your doorstep.
You can bring the life to them.
1-866-405-8405. A great holiday gift. I like that.
Perfect.
And put on the desk over there. Of course, this will be one of those things that will always be in the studio here. You know, we should put a webcam on the studio so people can see all the freaky stuff we have here. 1-866-405-8405. If you don't get through, check out the website, perfectpets.com. Tim, thanks so much for joining us today.
Well, thank you, guys. You take care.
It just flies by so fast. That's all we have for this hour. If you're leaving us now, remember there's lots more streaming online 24/7, plus your latest breaking news at animalradio.com.
Remember, if you get a pet, please spay or neuter. And if it happens to be a cat, don't declaw. And always adopt from your shelter. I'm Judy Francis.
I'm Hal Abrams. We'll see you next week for more Animal Radio right here on this fine station.
Bye-bye.
This is Animal Radio
Network.
Preventing pain, fear, and suffering of animals through nationwide education and awareness from all across the globe. This is Animal Radio.
And welcome to Hour 2 of our Cougar Tag Weekend right here on Animal Radio. Remember, anytime you hear the Cougar call, this hour, 1-866-405-8405, and you'll pick up a Cougar Tag, which, of course, is the world's smallest USB tag to put on your cat. You could even put it on your bird, I understand.
Wow.
I hear people are using that on your bird.
I think we should play it for them so they know what it sounds like, what they're listening for.
Okay, this is what you're listening for if you're just joining us this hour. This doesn't count, okay? But when you hear this, you'll call 1-866-405-8405. Here it is, the Cougar call.
Cougar time!
Of course, that didn't count there. I was just showing you what that was all about. Also, this hour, do our pets have souls? Do they know right from wrong? Do they have the ability to love? Also, Maggie the elephant from Anchorage to Sacramento. Wow, that's quite a culture shock, I would imagine.
Yes.
We're going to go to Paws. That's the sanctuary where she is, and actually find out how she's doing. Also, many of our pets are predisposed to some of the same diseases that we are. And we're going to find out how breast cancer may be something that your pet, your dog, your cat may be predisposed to. All the information on the way, as well as Susan Sims' Fido-friendly travel pick. Let's go to the phones. 1-866-405-8405. Hi, who's this?
Hi, this is Ophelia from Los Angeles.
Is that a flower?
I don't think so. It's the name of Hamlet's character.
Oh, Hamlet's character. Okay, there you go. I just don't read enough Hamlet.
No, you don't.
So I kind of missed that part of high school. But a beautiful name nonetheless. What can we do for you today?
Well, I have a question. I have a 2-year-old American Eskimo, and approximately about 6 months ago, I started noticing that the pigmentation in his nose was fading. So now he's got like pink coloration on his nose.
Is that a problem, Judy? Or does that normally happen?
You know, it happens a lot. It's not really too much to be concerned about. A lot of dogs have this inherent disease where it usually happens around 2 years of age.
It's a disease?
It is a disease, but it usually doesn't cause any problems. Normally, it's in some of the bigger dogs, German Shepherds, Newfoundlands, Dobermans, Rottweilers. You'll see a lot of this in. And, you know, it really varies. Some dogs lose the pigment in their nose during the winter season, but it comes back during the summer.
Well, but you're in California, is that correct?
Yeah.
That's correct.
So there is no winter season.
No winter there?
No.
Do you know what snow is? I'm just checking.
Not really.
Okay. Well, so should she worry about this?
Well, you know, sometimes it's caused by allergies, such as do you use like a plastic bowl for your dog food?
I think we were, but right now we have a steel.
Because sometimes they're allergic to their plastic, and when their nose makes contact and stuff, it can cause an allergy and it can cause the color to go away.
But not the case here.
No, not the case. In the summer, you definitely want to put sunscreen on him. because that pink can really get sunburned and cause a lot of problems. So
do they make a sunscreen for animals, or is it just regular sunscreen?
It's just regular sunscreen. You can put human sunscreen on his nose, and I still always advise everyone go to the vet. Yeah, just to make sure. But if there's no lesions or anything like that, chances are it's a normal reaction and stuff. But I'd sleep better at night if you go and have him checked out by your vet.
Well, I did try the sunscreen, and he just won't keep it on. He'll run into his house and he'll just rub it off.
Oh, well, that's interesting. I don't know what the solution for that is. We'll have to work on that one there. He just rubs it off on what, the furniture?
His pillow.
On his pillow. Doesn't like
that,
sunscreen.
Yeah.
Maybe a different kind of sunscreen. Maybe he doesn't like the smell, perhaps?
I was thinking that maybe the one I was using was too oily.
Yeah.
Yeah, try like a lotion or something that you can rub in, and then you can get most of it in before he has a chance to either lick it off or rub it off.
I have a question. Someone told me that it may be related to the fact that I haven't fixed him yet.
No, but that is unrelated. But if he is, you said 2 years old, I would definitely recommend having him neutered.
Okay. Is there a reason why you haven't had him fixed yet?
Well,
honestly, you can be honest. It's old Hal and Judy here with you.
Well, I just was concerned about maybe that causing them some harm or
actually,
pain.
That spaying and neutering your animals not only prevents them from harm, it actually it works on different levels. First of all, any kind of uterine or hormonal prostate cancers usually are eliminated if this is done early enough. And also, if your dog isn't in heat and isn't running around in the neighborhood looking to get a little, chances are it will stay healthier.
And he can live longer also.
Yeah, you can live longer, too. So I'm going to encourage you to go out and take care of that.
Yeah. We're actually going to do that probably this year just because he has gotten a little crazy on me.
Yeah, guys, and they get crazy when those hormones are out of control.
Exactly.
That's not going to help his nose turn black, but it'll help him on so many other levels.
Okay, I agree.
Very good, very good. We're going to hook you up with something from the prize closet here. We don't know what yet. I'll let you and Judy roam through the prize closet and pick something out for your dog and yourself, okay?
All right, thanks.
Thank you very much for calling. Love your name. 1-866-405-8405.
Animal Radio.
Thank you.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more about today's guest at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
When Animal Radio began just at the turn of the century there. Turn of the century. Boy, we sound old, huh?
Yeah, it does.
It had some humble beginnings. But we had some wonderful guests on, very provocative, evocative people. And one of those people was Gary Kowalski. And since then, Gary Kowalski has a brand new book out. And he deals with some of the issues, I believe, that he actually dealt with in his first book. Do animals have souls? Are they aware of death? Are they even conscious of themselves? Do they experience love? Do they know right from wrong? All of these questions... I think I know answers to these because I have a very tight connection with my animals. I think they know right from wrong. I'm pretty sure they do because they know when they're doing wrong.
Yes.
We have Gary Kowalski on the phone with us. Hi, Gary. How are you doing?
Hi, Hal.
Where are we calling you today?
I'm in Burlington, Vermont.
Where it must be absolutely beautiful this time of year.
It is. We're having a great autumn here.
Well, I want to get down to the dirt here. Some of the questions that I just talked about, I want to touch on if that's okay.
Well, I hope we do. Do animals have souls? For me, the question there is, do animals experience all those feelings and emotions that kind of lift us above the biological plane, that fill us with spirit? And my book asks the questions, why do animals play? Why do they dance? Do they dream? Do they grieve? Do they love? Because those are all the spiritual qualities we think of making us as most uniquely human, and that some people think set us apart from other species.
What about love? Because I don't know if I'm being anthropomorphic by thinking that my cat loves me.
Well, I don't know about cats, Hal. People have questions about cats. But you're not being anthropomorphic. That was the great scientific sin of the last century, to project human characteristics onto non-humans. But really some of the great scientists of the 20th century broke through that paradigm. Konrad Lorenz, who spent most of his life studying birds, really one of the founders of animal science, said that birds definitely experience love because that emotion is centered in the midbrain and the limbic system, and it's not so much in the frontal lobes, which aren't so much developed in avian species, perhaps, but the limbic system is very highly developed. So he observed this in birds, and there's the great story of the two birds who were walking on the plain, and one was walking ahead of the others. These were geese, and the one in front kept flying into the air, circling around, honking. The other one lagged behind and just stayed on the ground, and when you got closer, you could see what was going on. These were a pair. They'd mated for life, and the female who was walking behind had broken her wing, but the male in front refused to leave or abandon her. Birds certainly experience love, Lorenz said, and in making that statement, it's not anthropomorphizing, it's not projecting human characteristics onto animals, it's recognizing animal characteristics in human beings. It's our animal nature that enables us as people to share and experience trust and loyalty and intimacy.
You hear people say all the time that animals have so much to teach us. They even make fun of it. You hear it so many times.
Well, it gets a bit outworn, but I think it is true, and certainly ancient peoples believed that. Native Americans believed that human beings were really the younger siblings, and they looked at the plants and animals as all of my relations, and they were really our elders here who could teach us a great deal. I said we're here in Burlington, Vermont. Vermont is famous for its syrup, and the European settlers got that from the native people who lived here, but where did the native people learn it? Well, actually, squirrels make maple syrup. A squirrel will go out. The tree, the sap starts rising usually early in March. It takes warm days and cold nights to start the sap, and the squirrel will bite through the bark of the tree, and you need lots of sap to make sugar. The farmer has to boil about 40 gallons to get a gallon of syrup, but the squirrel accomplishes that just by letting it ooze out and evaporate in the sun, comes back the next day, and he has a very sweet little treat. So the Europeans learned it from the Abnaki, the native people, but the Abnaki probably learned it from the squirrels. Can animals be our teachers? Think about that the next time you pour syrup on your pancakes.
We're with Gary Kowalski. The brand new book, The Soul of Animals, is an awesome book. One of those books that you can sit down just for 5 minutes or for several hours. You don't have to dedicate a giant block of time. I know that when you pick up novels, Judy, you're in that novel for a long time.
Finish it in one sitting. I won't get up.
Very inspirational stuff. One of my cats here is sick. And he's a rare blood disease. It probably will be fatal in the long run. But you see, he is the happiest little guy in the world. There's nothing that he's worried about. In fact, you couldn't even tell that he was sick unless you took his blood. Mm-hmm. Are animals aware of death?
Well, I'm sorry to hear about your cat, Hal.
Well, he's happy though.
Yeah. I think sometimes, and in some instances, they're aware of death. They ponder that like we do. And I tell the story of the elephants, for example, and there are so many cases of elephants who certainly seem to have some awareness of the end of life. And in the wild, when they come across the carcass of a dead elephant, will stop and inspect the bones and feel them, particularly the skull, with their trunk, trying to recognize the individual that's died, often carry the bones around as though they're looking for a proper resting place for them. And many observers report burials, or what look very much like funerals, taking place when one member of the family dies or is killed, the other members stay with it, bury it, cover the body with earth and vegetation. So it's hard. We can't really get inside the mind of another creature who speaks a different language, but it doesn't seem to me at all to be take too much imagination to suggest that these animals are troubled by the fact of death just as we are, and have some of the same feelings of grief and remorse and despondency.
I see my cat, the very same cat, playing with his tail like it was not attached. Is he conscious of himself? Does he know that tail belongs to him?
I don't know, Al. I'm not a cat person. I have to tell you, but my dog, who's 10 now, would chase his tail constantly when he was a pup, and we weren't sure we'd gotten the brightest dog in the litter, to tell you the truth. They probably have a better body sense than we do. You know, these other creatures, their senses are usually sharper than ours, and cats and their athletic ability, they certainly have to have a good body sense to position themselves in space and do those acrobatic leaps that they do. I'm sure he knows where his tail is.
Well, you know, there's that video that was circulating around the internet of a dog with some kind of a bone or a biscuit, and I believe it was his foot. He would bring up his foot towards the biscuit and growl at his foot and snap at it, and then the foot would go back down, and then he'd chew on his biscuit, and the foot would come back up, and he was treating it like a foreign object, like it wasn't part of him that was trying to get his treat.
It reminds me of those studies that I talk about in my book, where they try to measure for self-awareness, and with human infants, you know, they do this. They put a red dot on an infant's nose and surreptitiously, and then put the infant before a mirror, and somewhere along the age of around 2, an infant will recognize their own image in the mirror, and so that's my nose with the red dot on it, and give a startled look of surprise. Great apes also do that, so they have the capacity for self-recognition, and it was just recently reported that elephants as well have this self-awareness that they share with humans. Some simpler or simply different species, like fish, will actually attack their own reflected images, see that as a threat or a competitor. So the dog and his hind leg, I'm not sure about that.
The Souls of Animals. I'm going to give away 5 copies for this Thanksgiving. Right now, 1-866-405-8405. If you'd like to pick up a copy for Thanksgiving, because it's the perfect book for the holidays. It's called The Souls of Animals. It's on New World Library. You can go to Amazon.com, and of course links to everything you've heard on today's show at AnimalRadio.com. Gary, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Judy. Al, it's been a pleasure.
Gary Kowalski on Animal Radio.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more about today's guest at AnimalRadio.com. Log on. Learn more.
Hey, this is Sean Hayes on Animal Radio. Remember to spay and neuter your pets.
Honey, look, I taught Rocky a new trick.
He's 12. You know what they say about old dogs. Hey, Rock, what'd she teach you to do? Sleep?
Honey, no. I taught him to email me when it's time for his vet appointment and vaccinations, notify a call center if he's lost, and give the kennel his feeding and med schedule.
Did you give him a brain implant?
No. I bought him a Cougar tag for his collar.
Cougar tag?
This little USB Cougar tag.
Oh.
Yeah, plugs into any computer. His vital information's right there for the vet or kennel to read.
So our address and phone number aren't hanging off Rocky's neck. Wow, neat trick.
Yeah, honey. Neat.
Cougar Tag, the world's smallest USB pet tag for dogs, cats, even birds. 24/7 Lost Pet Center, vital health and vet information, appointment and vaccination, reminder emails, and more. All in a universal, non-invasive, waterproof tag. Let your pet teach you a new trick. Visit CougarTag.com today. That's Cougar Tag, KOOGA tag.com.
Cougar Tag.com.
Do you know what you're serving for dinner tonight? If the FDA has its way, The milk and meat you see at the grocery store could come from cloned animals. And you won't even know because it won't be labeled. Cloning animals for food involves more than just food safety. Animal suffering and other ethical issues must also be considered. The cloning process uses hundreds of animals to produce just one clone, causing death or severe health problems for most of the animals involved. Just because we can clone animals for food doesn't mean we should. Contact the American Anti-Vivisection Society to learn more about the problems with animal cloning at www.endanimalcloning.org. That's www.endanimalcloning.org. And have a voice in what you are serving for dinner tonight.
Animal Radio is brought to you by Get Serious, a stain and pheromone remover so easy to use, even men can do it. Hey, wait a minute. Don't take any more excuses, women. It's time to get serious. Get Serious is available at PetSmart and online at GetSeriousProducts.com.
Did you know that dogs can get worm infections just from eating grass, and that those same parasites can also infect humans?
Ew, gross.
Thank goodness there's a safe and easy way to eliminate and prevent the major worms that infect dogs. Safeguard K9 Dewormer. Just sprinkle it on your dog's food twice a year.
And that's it?
Yep. For more information, visit www.safe-guard.com. That's SAFE-GUARD.com. It's the best way I know to protect my dog and my family against intestinal worm infections.
Preventing pain, fear, and suffering of animals through nationwide education and awareness from all across the globe. This is Animal Radio.
Hi, everybody. This is Dr. Jim Humphries reporting for Animal Radio. With family gathering around the dinner table, the last thing that you want to do on Thanksgiving is rush your dog or cat to the emergency room. A few simple precautions will help make sure your holiday feast remains festive. It's only natural for us to want to share our delicious dinner with our pets. After all, we do consider them to be part of the family, and many pet owners feel their dogs or cats should share in the holiday food. Well, in fact, more than 60% of us will feed our pets from the Thanksgiving Day table. But all good intentions aside, there are many holiday treats that can cause serious medical problems for our pets. Our signature dish, that Thanksgiving Day turkey, might seem harmless enough, but the wrong parts of the bird can cause vomiting, diarrhea, and even intestinal blockages. Now, while a little small piece of white lean meat might be a nice treat for your dog or cat, avoid giving your pet any of the skin, fatty pieces, and especially those bones. The skin and fat of a turkey can cause digestive upset, or worse, a condition known as pancreatitis, and that can be severe in small breeds of dogs. This is inflammation of the pancreas, and it's very painful for pets, and it is very common during holiday seasons. I've even seen this condition be rapidly fatal. Poultry bones of any type should be avoided, as they tend to break and splinter easily. These fragments of bone can then lodge in your pet's digestive tract, causing an obstruction or potentially perforate through the tract, setting up a life-threatening infection and emergency. Likewise, discarding items that were used to cook the turkey should be done with care. Basting bags, skewers, and strings with the smell of the bird on them might be eaten by a hungry pet and cause problems. Be sure to dispose of these in a pet-proof container, preferably behind a locked door. There are other items on the table that can cause problems too. Any high-fat or extremely spicy food has the potential to upset our pet's normal digestive process. Foods prepared with onions or onion powder can cause destruction of your pet's red blood cells if consumed. Grapes and raisins are known to cause kidney failure, and even those delectable baked goods can be dangerous. Some of these desserts contain the artificial sweetener xylitol that has been implicated in liver failure and a sudden decrease in blood sugar in dogs. And under no circumstances should you ever give your pet alcohol. Remind all your Thanksgiving guests that your pet has her or his own food and there's no need to give them treats from the table. If your dog or cat continues to beg during dinner time, it might be wise just to put them in another area until dinner is over. Talk with your family veterinarian about emergency services during the holidays, and keep that number posted and easy to find. Following these guidelines will keep your whole family home for the holidays. For the Veterinary News Network at myvnn.com, I'm Dr. Jim Humphreys, reporting for Animal Radio.
Cougar time! Hi, this is David Fry on Animal Radio. I want you to think about this. It's much more important what we learn from our dogs than what we teach them.
Preventing pain, fear, and suffering of animals through nationwide education and awareness from all across the globe. This is Animal Radio.
We're learning the same diseases that affect us, affect our animals. We learned heart disease is prevalent or can be in certain felines earlier. Mm-hmm. Also, breast cancer. Believe that in dogs and cats. I don't know if it's common. We'll find out. Dr. Gerald Post, a veterinary oncologist at the Veterinary Oncology and Hematology Center in Norwalk, Connecticut, is joining us. Doctor, how are you doing?
I am doing well.
Is breast cancer prevalent in our animals?
Yeah, we do see a fair number of cases of mammary gland tumors in both dogs and cats. And certainly in dogs, it's much more prevalent if they are unspayed. In cats, spaying does decrease the risk slightly, but in dogs, spaying an animal, especially before the first heat, substantially decreases the risk.
So is this only the female of the species that gets it, or do the males get it as well?
Well, just like in humans, breast cancer is much, much more common in females. There are rare cases of mammary gland cancer or breast cancer in male pets, but much, much less.
It's reduced greatly by having the animal spayed prior to the first heat cycle.
That is correct.
Which is just another reason to have your animals spayed and neutered, and before their cycle. And now for cats, when is that? And for dogs, respectively.
So basically, it depends upon the breed. So typically, we recommend by 6 months.
They say birds are great indicators of what's around you. Canary in a coal mine?
I've used that analogy many times over the last couple of months.
Same thing with our cats and dogs, yeah?
Well, we think so. And it's very interesting because one of the foundations that I work with, the Animal Cancer Foundation, funds comparative oncology research to evaluate such things, because we really believe that, like you said, the cancers that dogs and cats get are just like the cancers that people get, and because they live what's called a compressed lifespan, in other words, they live, instead of 100 years, they live 10 years, and therefore their diseases occur in a much more compressed time frame. If we can figure out what causes cancer in dogs and cats, it's likely that those same things are causing cancer in us. So if we can prevent those things or decrease the risk in our dogs and cats, we may be able to then translate that into decreased risk for people.
Looking for mammary cancer in humans is often tactile. I guess it's done by the doctor who feels for lumps.
Right.
Same thing for the cats?
Well, same thing. But, I would also say that, just like in people, the big trend is for, self-examination, self-advocacy. I would say owners should be on the lookout for any lumps, bumps, irregularities in the mammary tissue, and they should feel those, especially in middle-aged to older animals, every so often. And there's a list of 10 warning signs of cancer on both the Veterinary Oncology website, which is oncovet.com, as well as the Animal Cancer Foundation website, which is www.animalcancer.org. But feeling those mammary glands, both on the right and the left side, for any lumps, bumps, hardening changes in their texture, should warrant bringing your pet into your local veterinarian and then potentially to a specialist.
And because they have no opposable thumbs, this is something that your guardian should be doing. And you should do that with your whole animal. Is just always
Absolutely.
kind of make sure they have nothing, ticks, bites, whatever on them.
That's correct.
Is there a certain position you should place your animal in to get the best feel for anything that might be there?
Typically what we do, when we examine an animal is, have them lie on the floor or on the exam table, on their side and feel one side and then flip them over to the other side and feel the other. Some animals, especially if they're home, are much more comfortable, for instance, in the owner's lap. And, you can have, someone hold the animal in the lap and, a spouse or, the same person feel the mammary glands that way.
If it's more progressed, some of the signs might be weight loss or sores. What else?
Sure. So typically for mammary tumors, what we'll look for is a lump or bump within the mammary tissue itself. If it goes to progression, or if it progresses, you can see a non-healing wound or redness or a sore. And then if it progresses even further, you can see an enlarged lymph node. And then if it really progresses, for instance, if it metastasizes or spreads to the lungs, you can see weight loss, a loss of appetite, a cough, things like that. And the other end of the spectrum is if your pet does have mammary cancer, the diagnosis of mammary cancer is certainly not a death sentence. And when caught early, just like in people, it really dramatically increases the pet's chance of a good long-term survival, because small tumors are treated, when treated aggressively, those animals can do very, very, very well. And even if it does spread or if it is large, surgery plus chemotherapy is very well tolerated by most animals and does help the animal to have both an increased quantity of life as well as an increased quality. Chemotherapy is very different in animals than it is in people, because in veterinary oncology we really have to uphold two pillars, and those are not only increased quantity of life but also increased quality.
Yeah, well, you make a living out of doing this. You probably see a lot of great, warm success stories happening there at the Veterinary Oncology and Hematology Center in Norwalk.
Correct.
Do they have a website?
We do. It's www.oncovet.com.
Dr. Gerald Post joining us. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Learn more at animalradio.com.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more about today's guest at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
This is Glenn Close on Animal Radio, and remember how very, very important it is to spay or neuter your pet.
At Onesto Organics, we believe in whole foods for the whole animal. All of our human-grade organic pet foods are unrefined and dehydrated to preserve vital nutrients. Our veggie hides for dogs are delicious, nutritious, and completely free of grain, gluten, corn, and soy. Onesto Organics. We're all about healthful goodness for your pet. Honestly, nothing less will do. Check us out at www.onestoorganics.com.
PetGadgets.com. If you're looking for innovative and high-tech pet products. PetGadgets.com. Unique and high-tech products that you won't find at your local pet store. PetGadgets.com. Find the latest products that will make life easier for you and your pet. PetGadgets.com. Everything from massage beds to a remote-controlled tennis ball launcher. PetGadgets.com. Be top dog in your neighborhood. Shop at PetGadgets.com.
Hey, you want to keep a secret from your dog? It's the new fish sticks from Canine Caviar. They're good for your dog's teeth, gums, and also his achy joints. And fish sticks from Canine Caviar are 100% natural, completely digestible, and contain no chemical preservatives, additives, or fillers, and they're low in calories. But don't tell your dog that. All they care about is that they taste good. Get your dog fish sticks at caninecaviar.com. That's www.caninecaviar.com.
Every year, there are millions of pets in animal shelters across the country just waiting for a loving home. I'm Mike Farrell with a very simple message. If you're thinking of getting a pet, please adopt. To easily locate your closest place to adopt, call Pets 911 toll-free at 1-888-PETS-911. It's easy, it's free, and it gives a pet a second chance at life. Together, we can ensure a better future for our pets.
For adoptable pet listings in your community, go to pets911.com. Pets 911, proud to be partnered with Animal Radio.
Every once in a while, there comes along a special group of animal lovers that stands strongly in defense of the voiceless. Animal People is that newspaper for people who really care about the animals. Animal People's published 10 times yearly. The publisher is a nonprofit corporation dedicated to exposing the existence of cruelty to animals and to informing and educating you so that animal lovers worldwide can eliminate such cruelty. Your subscription is $24 a year and is 100% tax deductible. Get Animal People's fair and accurate investigative reporting from the industry watchdog. Visit our website at www.animalpeoplenews.org. That's www.animalpeoplenews.org to subscribe to the news for people who care about animals. Animal People. Subscribe today at www.animalpeoplenews.org.
Do you know what you're serving for dinner tonight? If the FDA has its way, the milk and meat you see at the grocery store could come from cloned animals. And you won't even know because it won't be labeled. Cloning animals for food involves more than just food safety. Animal suffering and other ethical issues must also be considered. The cloning process uses hundreds of animals to produce just one clone, causing death or severe health problems for most of the animals involved. Just because we can clone animals for food doesn't mean we should. Contact the American Anti-Vivisection Society to learn more about the problems with animal cloning at www.endanimalcloning.org. That's www.endanimalcloning.org. And have a voice in what you are serving for dinner tonight.
Cougar time!
Preventing pain, fear, and suffering of animals through nationwide education and awareness from all across the globe. This is Animal Radio.
It's Fido-friendly travel talk on Animal Radio with our dear friend Susan Sims. And this is one lady who has the best gig in the world. She travels with her pets, and she gets to write about it in Fido-friendly magazine. And we're lucky that she shares it with us. You've actually picked out one place, one special place that you're going to give us this week in just a couple of minutes. I'm not even going to hesitate to make a guess here. I'm just going to let you tell me what it's all about. Also, you have a travel tip.
I do. So I guess we're going to call this our picks and tips.
Picks and tips.
Picks and tips.
There you go. It's Picks and Tips with Susan Sims. We really need to get an intro on that. Guido, can you get a... Guido's going to work on an intro for the next time.
Guido, I love it.
Good.
Well, my travel tip is about making preparations for your road trip with your dog. And I like to make a list, and I keep it along with all the Fido necessities in the same spot. In fact, it's a great idea to have a little spare bag packed with things. So maybe you have a duplicate going on, but it's really important that that's going to carry your vet records, your extra leashes, your dog collars, your tags, food and water, and your pet first aid kit. Also, towels are a really good idea. And this way, if an emergency comes up or just a last-minute road trip, you are good to go. You just grab that spare bag and out the door you go.
Now, where's a good place to travel with our pet?
Well, I'm all about going out into the snow, and we've talked about Telluride before, and there's so many places in Telluride, Colorado, but one of my favorites is the Hotel Columbia in Telluride. It's been there for a long, long time, and they even have a restaurant and bar that's part of the hotel for après-ski, and when Fido's tired out, and you can let him stay in his crate in a room, and you can go down there and look out the window and see people still skiing around. But they have a host dog. It's a yellow lab named Levi. And he's always there when you check in, so he's part of the group there, and he welcomed us every morning, and my dogs could care less, but anyway, it was great. And what's really cool is they have a pet friendly gondola, and this is right next to that, and it's free to go, and they have designated gondolas. They'll have a little picture of a cat and a dog, so you just wait for that pet designated gondola and jump in and take your critters up. It's about a 12-minute ride, and you're up at the top to Mountain Village, and there's a whole lot of things to do. So Hotel Columbia in Telluride, I think that's my pick, and you can go online to ColumbiaTelluride.com.
I have to ask, a cat and a dog, do you ever see any cats up there?
Well, we didn't see any cats, but it's so dog crazy up there, but it's nice that they're equal opportunity.
I know that Telluride is also very beautiful during the summer, too, so when you take those gondola rides up, you can actually go hiking with your dog.
It's breathtaking, really.
All these travel picks that you have are in Fido-Friendly Magazine. You can get that at Barnes & Nobles. You can go online to FidoFriendly.com. Where else can you get that?
Well, you can stop into Borders and PetSmart, and it's nationwide, so you should be able to pick that up. And if not, like you said, go online and subscribe FidoFriendly.com.
Very good. It's Susan Sims with Fido-Friendly Travel Talk on Animal Radio.
That was fun. I liked it.
Hi, this is John O'Hurley. You're listening to Animal Radio. And remember, most importantly, please spay or neuter.
preventing pain, fear, and suffering of animals through nationwide education and awareness from all across the globe. This is Animal Radio.
It was a little over a year ago that we had Bob Barker on with us. We were talking about Ruby, the elephant.
From the LA Zoo.
LA Zoo. I said, you know what, Bob, there's an elephant up there in Alaska, in Anchorage, where we used to live. Maggie, who's in this very same situation. And we started following the news, the buzz going on in Anchorage, Alaska. Of course, no one ever thought Maggie would make it out. I didn't. I
didn't think that they would let her go.
And, of course, we're happy to report that last week Maggie was flown in a C-17 transport plane with the U.S. Air Force to Paws, a great sanctuary just outside of the Sacramento area, a sanctuary that's taken in many elephants that have, well, they haven't lived the greatest lives up till now when they get there at the sanctuary. We have Pat Derby on the phone?
Yes.
Hi, I just wanted to make sure you were there, Pat. Of course, we know you as the founder and the mastermind behind Paws. You must be very excited to have Maggie there.
Yes, right now I'm sitting right close to her. She's standing up the fence with the other 4 elephants, and she's doing great.
I would be doing great, too, if I had just relocated there. It's a very beautiful place. How many elephants are there?
Well, let's see. We have 12 elephants now. We have 7 Asians and 5 Africans.
And Maggie, when she got there, did she immediately hit it off with the other Africans?
Well, you know, I guess we keep thinking we're on a roll here. Ruby came and walked out like she owned the place, made friends right away, and within weeks she was out in the big habitat with the rest of them. And Maggie did the same thing.
Really?
Walked out of I mean, it was as though she knew she was coming here, and she was just expecting it. She walked out the first day. All of the elephants rumbled and trumpeted, and it was very encouraging. She turned around and charged at them like, "Don't give me any nonsense. I survived the winters in Alaska. You're not going to pick on me."
Wow.
Oh, that is wonderful. And health-wise, I'm sure she's being checked over by the best medical care around. How is she doing?
She's doing very well. We have actually, Paws now has 3 veterinarians. One of our vets flew with her, and then the Anchorage Zoo vet flew with her as well. And everybody checked her the minute she landed. She's actually doing very well. She lacks muscle tone. She holds her head a little low, but that's just lack of muscle, and she'll get that very quickly walking up and down these hills.
She has so much space to walk in now, it's probably like culture shock, I would imagine, for her.
Well, she's moving around a lot, going right up and down the hills, and with no difficulty. So that's very good. Eating really well. No problems. We were concerned that she might colic after that trip. Not at all. It's all going in one end and coming out the other just beautifully.
That's always a good sign there. Now, I understand the process of getting Maggie down to Paws was very expensive. It cost the military about $200,000, but the military doesn't pick up the tab for that for a lot of reasons, which we may or may not agree with. But you picked up the tab for that, and of course you take that from donations that you get, right?
Right.
And anyone can help you out, right?
Oh, yes. Donations are always welcome.
Mr. Barker, I understand, is helping substantially with this.
Bob Barker has helped substantially with 4 of our elephants, Nicholas and Gypsy and Ruby, and now Maggie. He's a very committed person, and we really appreciate it. I spoke to him the other day, and he said, well, Pat, I understand how much it costs to care for even dogs and cats. Mm-hmm. And for elephants, I know it's astronomical.
What is the website that we can go to learn more? There's an elephant webcam where we can actually see Maggie.
Yes. If you go to pawsweb.org, on the home page, there will be a little tab that says About Paws, and under that tab, it says webcams, and it's you'll see African elephant webcam, and just click on that. We're doing socialization with Maggie now. So we're actually, one of us is sitting here all the time, and our four, we're keeping them right up to the fence, and Maggie right up to the fence, and they're all eating together, a lot of touching Maggie, and all of the trunks exploring. She'll move away, or they'll move away, and then she'll come back, and they'll come back.
Amazing.
And it's fun to watch. It's one of those things that you turn on the webcam, and you could not do a lot of work all day. You're just watching the elephants. You get so involved that it's only logical that maybe you could help out. Once again, on links to everything you've heard today on today's show at animalradio.com. Pat, thank you so much for joining us, and thanks for taking Maggie.
Oh, my pleasure. I love her.
She's awesome. Give her a big old hug from all of us here at Animal Radio, okay?
I sure will.
That's all we have time for this weekend. Remember, there's lots more at animalradio.com. We're streaming online 24/7. And on any cell phone, simply text ANIMAL to 27627. All that info at animalradio.com.
And remember, if you get a pet, please spay or neuter. And if it happens to be a cat, don't declaw. And always adopt from your shelter. I'm Judy Francis.
I'm Hal Abrams. We'll see you next week for more Animal Radio right here on this fine station. Have a great week.
Bye-bye.
This is Animal Radio Network.